It's artificial. It's going to be a lake in the middle of the land with waves popping up left, right, and centre. The trick will be designing it so that it looks like it hasn't just landed there and just sticking out of the ground. It's a 74-acre development. Most of it's landscaping. Most of it is about what we're going to be planting in there, and the gardens and the wetland areas and the sort of trees and the forest that we're going to be putting in that whole area. It's an ancient woodland area that all the trees were chopped down and it was turned into sort of farming, intensive sort of agricultural land, which over time, because of agricultural techniques, is just devalued. There's only a tiny, I think it's like a 1 acre left of the ancient woodland that used to be there, and we've got a chance to actually reinstate that, which is kind of cool. I guess in terms of how it would look, I see photos of sort of these creeks off Canada, in British Columbia, where they've got sort of woodland forest lined next to surf breaks, and the classic ones we see the bears swiping salmon. There aren't going to be any bears with salmon, but that sort of forested, beautiful, pristine waves, and feeling like you're really in nature whilst strangely still being just outside the city. I think there's quite an interesting mix there. The design challenge with our land is still creating that reveal moment, that moment where you would like go over the top of a sand dune and suddenly see waves there. And the architects and people that we work with are really, really good at looking and planning that space out. The way that we've set up the land is that you would leave your car behind at the car park, and then you would literally have to just tuck the stuff that you need for the few hours of the day, and just right next to the car park entrance to the track that leads you to where the wave's going to be. You pick up on a brook, one of the old brooks that is there. So you've got water starting to pick up, and the ability to then, it's about 300-400 metre walk from the car park entrance along the brook, and we're going to use that hopefully for education along the way to start picking up that theme of water, why water is important to us, and how it works and runs in our ecosystem. So along the way, be able to tell those stories. But equally, if you've got a hot-headed grom that just wants to just charge, then they can just charge down the track and get down there. People with disabilities or with lots of luggage or kids, then there'll be little eco-buggies that will be able to get them to the reception area. And then the reception building, will be split into two halves, a wet area and a dry area. Dry area will obviously have cafe, restaurant, educational spaces, conference space, that sort of feel to it. And the other side is obviously your changing rooms and surf shop and a place where you can do surf training and those kind of things. But down the middle will be like an atrium, which again will hopefully fairly soon have all the designs of the inside, because they look pretty insane, but it's like being inside a barrel. So you'll literally come in through, and as you come out of the barrel, there it will be. You'll just arrive on the deck where, bang, you've just got this wave charging down a lake with lots of people hopefully completely off their heads with fun and joy, really. So it'll have that reveal moment, and I just think that's really important, because it still keeps that sense of exploration, and hopefully that sense like you've left a bit of the crazy, techie, busy world behind, and you can dip into it. So it's got to be accessible for people who just need a quick charge after work, and they just need to get there really quickly, get in the water, have their fix of surfing and go. But also for people who may be new to the experience, that actually they get to feel what it's like when you first rock up at a beach. It feels like that kind of that sense of search and kind of getting lost in a landscape is a really important part of potentially what you're losing by having an inland surfing lake, but potentially if you do it right, you could bring that back in a slightly kind of quirky way.
Spread yourself, spread yourself, spread yourself,